That's why they call it the big house.
Yeah, it's going to be sick. A sick environment.
None of those 110,000 play quarterback, and that's the problem.
Honey, where are you going?
Where are you going?
Again? Just where are you going?
Where are you going? You're not going to the bar again, are you?
You like hanging out, drinking beer at the bar, talking sports? Come on out and join us weekly. Guys at the Bar Talking Sports, your podcast for just that. Hanging out, drinking some beer, talking sports.
Way buddy to Guys at the Bar Talking Sports, your favorite podcast, the world's greatest podcast for sports, college football. We're even going to talk a little Major League Baseball today because the World Series is going on.
Yes.
I'm giving in to my friend Cheeks here on this. We're broadcasting from beautiful Columbia, South Carolina, northeast side of town, and we have a great week of college football to talk about. Week 10 college football, that is. We're also going to take a quick look back at Week 9 for a few minutes. While you're listening, hit that subscribe button. Consider hitting the bell on YouTube as well, because we're on YouTube now.
Woo!
And in order for us to you can be subscribed, in order for it to notify you, you got to hit that bell as well. I'm a poet, and I didn't even know it. So we also are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all those as well. You can go ahead and give us a 5-star rating and review on those. We like to drink a lot, seems like. Some of us drink water, which costs money. Some of us drink beer and bourbon, which costs money as well. And we'd like to ask y'all to support our liquor habit. And if you want to do that, you can at Guys at the Bar Talking Sports. If you don't want to support our liquor habit, I promise you will also use that money for better equipment, because we like to have better quality sound. Like that is my stick.
Peloton or something, right?
A pellet. We could even use it for a Peloton. Yeah, exactly.
What would you do with that?
Exactly. Add it to his CrossFit routine.
We will all use a Peloton while we're doing the show.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. We'll be fit and we'll be Guys at the Bar Talking Sports. So
For an hour we could Peloton and talk.
Kind of more into that beer belly.
Make sure you get the cup holders to hold the beer.
Exactly. We are on Facebook. We're on Twitter. We're on TikTok. We're on all the socials. All you gotta do is search Guys at the Bar Talking Sports. We also have a website, which is, you guessed it, www.guysatthebartalkingsports.com.
Now is it spelled out or is it G-A?
It's spelled out.
All right.
I can say it if you want me to.
No, you don't have to.
All right, just remember, Guys at the Bar Talking Sports. Now, I don't know how many times I walk up to people, they're like, oh, you're the guy from that podcast, Sports Talking at the Bar type thing. And I'm like, yeah, Guys at the Bar Talking Sports. How hard is that to remember? But we've been saying it for 5 years, right?
Yep.
So here we are 5 years later. Let me go ahead and introduce the gang for you. We have Cheeks. Cheeks, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
Great. I'm going to come right back to you after I do this introduction.
Okay.
Because I'm going to let you do your spiel.
I'm having a great week.
On the World Series, all right?
Let's hope it continues tonight.
Let's hope it continues tonight. We are recording live this show right now while the World Series is going on. It starts at 8:08 p.m. Eastern Time.
Right.
We also have the Mountaineer himself. I'm only going to call you by that name for the rest of the time that we're doing this show. Mountaineer. Sorry, I can't. Mountain G. Gosh.
Simple Jack over here.
Mountain Man, how you doing today?
I'm good. How about you?
All right. I see you got a Carolina shirt on. You starting to fall into place in this local town we living in over here, or what?
Well, we do have a daughter that goes there, so
Okay.
we are financially tied to them.
Oh, well,
and
hey.
it's an off week for West Virginia, and I think it's cycle my laundry. That's where I'm at right now.
I think I have the same exact champion shirt in my closet.
Sam's, baby.
Yeah, oh, that's where I got it. Yeah, exactly. All right. We also have another fan of the Carolina team, only because he's financially tied to them as well. He's a North Carolina Tar Heels fan, but he's wearing a Clemson shirt today. How you doing there, Chief?
I'm doing wonderful. Go Tigers.
There you go. And then we have the Auburn fan himself, the Chopper.
What is going on?
A.K.A. Tad.
Trevor,
the guy that does CrossFit in our group. And you would think, and when you look at him, you will know he does CrossFit too. Look at them arms, man.
Yeah.
Woo,
I noticed when he walked in awful slow and sore looking when he came in.
I know. He's like, he's having a hard time even leaning in towards the microphone right now. Look at him, man.
I'm so sore.
Do you need a water, bro?
No, I got a Bud Light.
Oh, you got it.
That's
Close
why.
to water.
It's practically the same thing.
it's beer flavored
95% water.
He needs a banana.
Yeah.
Exactly. So Cheeks.
Yes.
You know that I am not that much of a baseball fan.
It's okay. I'll forgive you.
So enlighten me on what's going on in the World Series. Who's winning the World Series right now?
Well, currently the Dodgers are up 3-0. I don't know what the Yankees are doing. They're hoping that their bats are going to light up
3
tonight.
games to 0.
That is correct.
This is
Tonight-
only reminiscent, if Yankees win, of the 2004 Red Sox. Was that when they went? When they were down 3 games and they...
But that wasn't the World Series.
No, that was that. No.
Oh, that wasn't the World Series.
No,
That's
that
right.
was just a playoff.
That's
Yeah.
right. Okay.
I don't want to step on her toes real quick, but
Uh-huh.
I did hear a stat today on the Pat McAfee show that
You're gonna
of
win.
the 27 times a team has been down 3-0 in the history of baseball, combined, they've only won 3 games.
Well,
Okay.
if you're talking about World Series.
World Series.
If you're talking about
27
modern day
times.
World Series.
27 times in the World Series. In the World Series only. A team
Yes.
that's been down 3-0. The team that was down, all of them combined, were able to squeak out 3 wins.
Oh, wow, that's
And
it.
That's it. And now the Yankees have got to try to win 4 in a row. I don't see it. Anyway, back to you. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to
That's okay, but the Yankees, this is not an unfamiliar territory for the Yankees. So
And they're playing in New York today?
They are.
Looks
They're
like?
playing in the Bronx, yeah.
Okay.
And a friend of ours, collectively, her son, is at the game right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So,
Sounds like a fun time. So,
well, unless the
3-0.
Dodgers win, it's going to be great for us.
So I did see a grand slam, a walk-off grand slam.
That was
after
Friday
game
night.
1,
That
right?
is correct. Freddie
that was
Freeman.
sick, to be honest with you, dude.
Yes.
Holy crap.
So Freddie Freeman has a record.
Yeah.
It's now tied. If he gets a home run tonight, he will own that record.
Mm-hmm.
But 5 straight World Series games. 3 of them are with the Dodgers. 2 of them are with his previous team from Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's looking forward to hitting another home run tonight, and so am I, quite frankly.
I love it.
He's third in the lineup, so there's a great chance that there's going to be 2 guys on base. And the reason I say that
What's
is
the chance of there actually being 2 guys on base?
very
right
good
off the bat?
chance. And the reason I'm saying that is
Okay.
because the pitcher tonight for the Yankees is infamous for walking people. He's one of the worst pitchers.
So
for
why would
walking
they have him
people.
start the game?
Well,
In Game 4 of the World Series when you're down 3-0.
Right.
It's the rotation, I guess.
yeah, it is the
Yeah, okay.
rotation. Also, they're hedging their bets because the Dodgers are doing something a little risky too. They're going to the bullpen for all their pitchers tonight. They're not using any regular starting pitchers because they're saving them for 5 and 6.
Just in case, yeah.
Just in case, that's correct. Because last night Bueller did an amazing job. Anybody want to say Bueller?
Bueller.
Bueller.
Yeah, so
Bueller?
Walker Bueller did a fantastic job last night against the former Gamecock Schmidt, who did not do so great last night. So we're looking forward to the bullpen to try and salvage this versus...
So this is all guys that usually come in 7th, 8th inning and close the game
That's
out.
correct.
Okay, so...
That is correct.
But they're all
But
going to
if
get
they-
to throw tonight.
Yeah, so we're looking at probably 7 guys that are going to be throwing tonight.
So each will do about 2 innings. That's about where they're going to... I mean, okay.
Depends on when Dave Roberts gets bored. I mean,
Yeah.
he pulled Yamamoto on Saturday night, what I consider premature. He pulled him after 6.1 innings, and he was having a stellar game. But we went on to win that too. So I guess he knows what he's doing. I don't.
I wish I gave a shit about baseball, and the reason why I say that is because there's so many games to talk about. You probably have 30 games a day on some days, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I used to love baseball as a kid, but baseball.
Yeah, I loved it as a kid. I used to be
Yeah.
a huge Red Sox fan
Yeah.
when Roger Clemens was playing, and you had the third baseman, lefty, what the
Wade
hell was
Boggs.
it? Wade Boggs, like all of them. Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
It was
baseball
great.
was like April 1st. It's baseball.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
then no one cared, or I didn't care again until October 1st when playoffs started. I mean, baseball season's too long; they're never going to cut it back. But
But it also
There's no
depends
reason
on
to cut it back.
It also depends on who you're rooting for too, because some
well, that's
people-
true. I'm a Baltimore
if-
Orioles fan, so a lot of times after April 2nd, the season was already over. So,
Right.
Yeah, but
right.
the Red Sox have always generally been up and down, right? They're a team that will put together one great team, and then the next 10 years they look like crap.
Right.
Just the way they've always been.
Well, but-
but
1978, Bucky Dent. And the
I was born in 1977, man. Giving away my age. So I was
Yeah, but
1
wasn't
year
that
old
when
watching
they-
the base.
wasn't that-
I was watching those Red Sox.
wasn't that the year when the Red Sox and the Yankees went to a playoff for the division championships? They had to play 1-game playoff to see who would go to the AL playoff.
Yeah, back then baseball, you played 161 games, and the winner of the East battled the winner of the West. There was no playoff.
Okay.
It wasn't like it is now.
Right, you had a wild card. You had the ALCS and NLCS. They came right out of the gate.
Yeah.
So what he's talking about is I only know because I've watched them a million times on ESPN Classics was at the end of the American League East, which had like 12 teams in it at the time because there wasn't a Central. It was East and West. The Red Sox and Yankees finished with the same record. And the winner of that game, they played an extra game, and the winner went on to play to get to the World Series. And Bucky Dent, I think he waited a walk-off.
Whatever he did, he made a hit.
Bucky effing Dent is what people in Boston call him.
All right, I gotta cut this convo short on baseball. You got one more topic?
Yeah,
for me?
well, I have a question for you guys. When was the last time that a baseball team swept the World Series? Give me the year.
Oh God, I can't even think about that.
You all were alive, so.
We were
was
alive.
it Royals Mets? I don't know the year.
Nope, wrong teams.
Braves.
Nope, wrong team.
Red Sox.
Nope.
It wasn't the Red
Oh,
Sox.
was it Astros Dodgers?
Astros, you got... No, it was not. Sorry.
So,
Hold on, she thought you were right for a second unless you looked at her
they
notes.
played in the World Series. I can't remember.
Yeah,
but-
okay. Who was it, Beth?
It was the Giants and the Tigers in 2012.
Oh, Giants and Tigers. Okay.
Yeah, so that's...
two teams that no one cares about.
That's all.
Well, the Giants
there are
are
a lot of
pretty-
people in San Francisco that really... And old old-time New York.
Giants-
On our show, nobody cares what the
Giants had a spell. They went 2010, 2012, 2014 winning World Series.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But tonight, I'm going to wrap this up by telling you, tonight is going to be an interesting game only because both of the teams have really bizarre strategies on playing this. So the Yankees are bringing out Gill. He's going to be the starting pitcher who is like one of the worst in walking people and doesn't make anybody dig for the ball. So that's going to be interesting that we're probably going to see a lot of people on base. Okay. I'm
So those grand slams are going to come
I'm hoping that Freeman and Ohtani is going to take advantage of that. Now, on the flip side, the Dodgers are, I guess it's kind of like leftover night. They're going to use their bullpen to bring out all the
I'm sure those pitchers are very happy to hear on our show when they're listening tomorrow morning.
They call them left.
Yeah, exactly.
You think the Yankees will put Garrett Cole out there if they have to for an inning?
No, they already said they're not going to.
Okay. That's the only one that must not be playing then.
Yep, you're exactly right. That is the one guy who's not going to play. Yes.
Let's look back on Week 9 college football, shall we?
We shall.
All right, so, man, one game that I got to bring up first because it was the game of the week in the sense that I did not expect this to happen, but Alabama blew out Mizzu, man, 34-0. They just pounded them. Now that Brady Cook was playing with an injured hand at the time. An injured hand. I mean, I guess if he can't throw properly,
Which hand?
His
throwing hand?
It's his throwing hand. Yeah, I think it was his thumb or something, right? I can't remember what they said, but he did come out of the game quite a bit as well because there was another player. The other backup quarterback had quite a few reps as well. But listen to this: 3 for 13 on third downs, 3 interceptions. They were just not prepared for Alabama, man. 34-0. Alabama put up 486 yards, averaging 7.7 yards per play.
Yeah.
Like,
you remember what I said last week about
I would love to
Alabama coming out as a more disciplined team? This week, everybody complained about how undisciplined they look in the previous game. So, I mean, I said he will adjust that quick. I said, if that's what they want, he's going to give that to them.
And a lot of people doubted that, especially last week. I think some of us were talking smack. Like, no, it's hard to reel it in.
Yeah,
it's like Alabama every other week. I mean, think about how they've been playing, whether they won or not. But every other week, it seems like they have a good week, then they have a bad week.
Was it because Mizzu had an injured quarterback, though? Like, this is a team that is used to putting up these gigantic plays.
But they're
30 yards, 40-yard passes that they get another 30 yards after the catch. Like, this is a team that depends upon that. And if Brady Cook was not on his game, they had no breakout plays at all that entire game.
I think that only affects them putting points on the board. I think they would have lost anyway.
Their defense was terrible.
Yeah.
Their defense was terrible,
Yeah, I think they could have gotten maybe a touchdown or two if he was on his A game, but I think they would have lost anyway.
But Alabama was just heads and
they were
shoulders
superior,
above.
yeah.
Which is crazy because when I was looking at the season, you're looking at Brady Cook, you're looking at the receivers around him. Their running game was dismal as well. I think they only had 40-something yards of total of rushing offense as well. I think you got something to say there, Mountain.
Yeah,
Mountain Mama.
I put Missouri
Jamma.
in the same category as Ole Miss. I just don't think they're for real. And I'm just, we always go back and look at their schedules. And when so Texas A&M, take a guess what that score was. They're 41-10. They didn't even show up. If you remember that game, right? Okay, they got UMass, Cupcake, fine. Then they played Auburn, and they should have lost to Auburn. It was a bad mistake on Auburn's. I do remember that. It was a bad mistake on Auburn's part.
Yeah, we had that game won the whole game.
Well, but they really have. When they started playing the meager schedule, they have not looked good. They're 6-2, and somehow this team is still in the top 25, which is BS. But I just think that Missouri is, the quote of great coach, is who we thought they were. Okay, and I mean, they're playing Oklahoma this weekend. I would be shocked if Oklahoma don't give them a tough game.
They will.
Yeah.
Just because Oklahoma, while they're playing like crap the last several weeks, they still have defensive players that can stop a team like Mizzou. Then, especially with and
if Brady Cook's hurt, which I guess I'm assuming he is hurt apparently.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be playing this weekend.
He is a good quarterback, and that will make a difference. I mean, no doubt about it.
It's really sad to see a team that has so much talent not do so well. But anyway.
Maine's playing Oklahoma this week.
The Maine Black Bears.
Yeah,
I was going to bring that game up as our topic of conversation later on, but I changed my mind because that is not. I mean, Maine may actually beat Oklahoma. Honestly,
no, that's Missouri's next game. They must be off this week.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but I do think Maine could possibly beat Oklahoma.
Maine's not beating Oklahoma. That would be immediate firing of the entire coaching staff right there.
I'd say Venables is.
Yeah.
I mean, this is his second year, but man, they're just not.
They're not going to let him go after his second year.
They're going to ask him to let go.
This is the first year that they're in the SEC.
Yeah, but they're going to ask him to let go of some staff. I'll guarantee you that.
Yeah. There's going to be a staff change for sure in that program, making sure that wherever the problem is at, it's definitely the offensive coordinator. It's definitely on the offensive side of the ball, which affects the defense. Because if your offense is out on a 3-and-out every single play, every single time they get the ball, then that defense is out there way too much. And that's going to really affect even the best defenses out there. So, and not saying that Oklahoma even has close to the best defense in the country, but I mean, Venables is probably the best defensive mind in the country.
If they had half an offense, they would be tough to deal with.
Yeah. All right, Pitt beat Syracuse. I know. Oh, look at you over there. You're starting to get tensed up over this conversation, aren't you there, Mountain Man?
I mean,
41-13, bro.
I know, but we all. I mean, if we watched the
Goodness
game, and I did watch that game with high hopes, you saw one of the most bizarre games we've ever seen. I mean, Syracuse dominated them statistically in a lot of categories, except they threw 3 pick sixes to basically start the game out. I mean, Pitt beat them off. Syracuse beat themselves. Pitt didn't have to do anything.
Syracuse had the ball for 41 minutes.
Oh.
They put up 327 yards to Pitt's 217 yards. 321 yards of passing. 23 first downs. 6 for 7 on fourth down. If you read those statistics to anybody in the country, you'd be like, oh yeah, Syracuse definitely won that game.
Except for the 5 interceptions.
Except for the 5 interceptions thrown by Kyle McCord himself.
I mean, they spotted him 21 points just on pick sixes.
Is he still in the Heisman conversation?
No. How? Here's your Heisman Trophy. By the way, remember that one game where you threw 5 picks? Come on. No.
Rooster didn't even come to the show tonight.
He's scared to even talk about this game, yeah. His mother is going to be in town towards the end of November, and he's going to bring her onto the show. Stay tuned for Rooster's mom at some point.
I can't wait to ask her about this game.
Yeah, that was a game, though, 41-13. No, but I don't think when we went around the table, anyone was like, yeah, it's going to be a blowout by Pitt. Did you think that?
Absolutely not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and nobody would think that. And then all of a sudden, Pitt's just doing it to him. But then again, it was how many pick sixes were there?
3.
3 pick sixes. That's an easy way to go up fast, huh?
That's 21. You spotted. I mean, like we saw it with South Carolina and Oklahoma. When you give a team basically spot them 21 points, like Oklahoma, I mean, that game's over. It's over.
Well, the third pick six was before the halftime.
Yeah.
The third pick six had a minute 12 left in the.
I really thought Syracuse was going to beat them. I really thought Syracuse had them.
Yeah, no.
I thought it would be competitive at minimum because, Pitt's undefeated now. They are in the national conversation for who's going to make it into the playoffs. ACC is not exactly the hardest place to play, but then again, they do have to play. Who are they playing? Clemson?
They have to play Clemson.
Yep.
And assuming Miami wins out and they beat Clemson, they still got to play Miami.
Yeah. But even so, and then we're thinking, would a one-loss Pitt with one loss in the postseason, which would be the play or the conference championship game, would a 2-loss Pitt make it into the playoffs?
No.
Who knows? It's hard to tell, especially in the ACC.
It's possible, but they're not going to make it into the playoff if they don't beat Clemson. Mm-hmm. And if Clemson wins out, Clemson's only other team that's competitive left is South Carolina.
And let's be honest, Pitt's not exactly glamorously winning games. Like, they're not putting up 67 points like Clemson is. Not that Clemson's playing too hard of teams either, but Clemson's going to beat Pitt. It's pretty much...
Well, Pitt has the hardest schedule. Of the 4 teams in the ACC that's in it, Miami, Pitt, SMU, and Clemson, Pitt has the hardest schedule left. Pitt's
playing SMU this week.
They got to play 2 of the 4. So, that should hopefully Pitt gets eliminated. We can quit talking about them.
You're hoping a lot, aren't you?
I tell you what, joke of a team.
All right, so Friday night, Boise State played UNLV and beat them, and it was 29-24. Not really exactly. It wasn't a blowout. They were actually losing into the fourth quarter, up into the fourth quarter.
But it was a road game.
It was a road game, yeah. It's UNLV. It's not like that stadium's packed full of people. Let's just be honest.
I heard they had seats for sale.
We were talking about UNLV a couple weeks ago. They're good. Yeah. They've gotten even better since the backup quarterback came in, relieved the guy that demanded more money. Or whatever.
Yeah, they're playing good. This solidified Boise State's chances of being in the playoff. They were showing on SportsCenter earlier that I think it was 50. They have a 50-50 chance of being in the playoffs now. They're as long as they win their conference, right? Yep.
That was their toughest. I think that's their toughest game. That was their toughest.
That is. This weekend I think they were playing San Diego State or something like that.
I think they're down this year too.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, so I don't feel.
But it's Friday night at Boise State. San Diego State's going to get there.
Yeah, it's not exactly going to be a tough challenging game for them at all.
You just hope they don't start drinking the Kool-Aid and trip up because they cannot afford to trip up.
No, but the worst thing that came out of this was one of the Heisman hopefuls. He did horribly in this game.
Well, he ran for 122 yards. That's not really horrible, right?
Well, for him it is.
For him it is.
Yeah. If you look at what he's been doing.
In order for him to beat the record of Barry Sanders, he has to put up 200 yards per game. Right. And that does not put him on track to do it.
But I think people think he has to do that to win the Heisman Trophy.
He has to?
I don't think. I think because he plays at Boise State, and the way it's such a it's a Big Four award. Let's be honest. He would have to break Barry Sanders' record for them to give it to him. That's what I think. I don't think that's fair.
Well, agreed.
But
and a quarterback is going to be the shoe-ins for any sort of Heisman trophy anyway. But
they're still trying to keep Milroe's name and I'm like, I can't. But he's still being talked about, and I was like,
but he looked great this weekend.
He did, but again, how did he look? I mean, I don't know. Milroe's okay, but I'm just saying this.
If Miami wins it all, or if Miami makes it to the playoffs, Cam Ward is the Heisman Trophy winner. If Miami wins the rest of their games, he's going to be the Heisman Trophy candidate or winner. Almost certainly, man.
Well, Miami
this guy is putting up numbers
in
very well, and you're taking a team that historically is. I mean, they've been good in the past, but for the last however many years it was, 2002.
I agree.
So they have a national championship.
It's probably a 3-horse. I mean, for me, I have no vote or no say, but in my book, it's a 3-horse race. It's Cam Ward, it's Travis Hunter, and it's the Gentry kid. That's the 3 best players. Week in and week out, they show up.
I would love to see it be Travis Hunter, just even though I'm not like a huge
amazing.
I'm not even. The kid is unbelievable.
amazing.
Any other,
He really is.
everybody. Charles Woodson won the Heisman Trophy for doing both ways. This kid's doing way more than he ever did.
Yep.
All right, Ohio State barely beat Nebraska. Like, let's be honest, it did come down to the last 40 seconds of that game. 21-17. Ohio State was lethargic at best. The offensive line struggled. The ground game was almost non-existent. They were 1 for 10 on third down. They were lucky to win this game, in all honesty. That luck was the fact that Nebraska has a young quarterback. He's great under pressure, but in the highest pressure situation, which is that last 2 or 3 minutes of a game, not so much. What's wrong with Ohio State, man? What can we expect from them going forward, Chief?
I got to be honest. I haven't seen Ohio State and Michigan this bad in the same season. I cannot ever remember it.
But Ohio State only has one loss.
But you look, they're not winning games. They're squeaking by.
Yeah, it's scary, man. When you have that much talent, like they were the darling of the conversation at the beginning of the season.
And they have an undefeated team to play this coming weekend as an away game. So it wasn't just they beat Nebraska, but they barely squeaked by them at home.
Yeah,
That's
off a bye week.
Yeah,
off a bye week. Yeah, this is not a good look.
What does Ryan Day got to do to fix this thing then?
I
mean, he has to fix it this week.
I didn't watch that. So, in full disclosure, I didn't get to watch the game. So
Okay.
when I saw the score on my feed, I was shocked. I thought, Howard got hurt or something happened, right? I don't know. I mean, to me, they have looked good up until, Oregon, that game's a toss-up. But they blew out Iowa, they blew out Michigan State, and then the 3 games before that were cupcakes. But I don't know. Maybe they were looking ahead. Maybe they had the problem of
There's
looking
no
ahead.
way you're looking ahead. Nebraska has one of the strong.
November
Your
2nd
love
to Penn
for
State.
Nebraska. Let's slow the boat on Nebraska a little bit. They got the shit kicked out of them by Indiana the week before.
That's true.
So
They've got to buy this week, and they're going to Penn State, right?
they play Penn State this weekend.
They play Penn State
weekend.
at Penn
This
State.
weekend,
I think.
And you got Indiana running around in the background going, you two battle it
that's
out.
right.
Yeah, you say they don't look past it. There had to be some of that going on.
Yeah, and it couldn't be because when Indiana blew the doors right off of Nebraska, then they got to be thinking, okay, we're better than Indiana, so maybe we should just we got this thing down pat. Yeah. So that could be true.
I didn't watch things, so I can't.
I'm a little bit of a homer on Nebraska, and I'm like I see them through some rose-colored goggles right now.
How did Nebraska look? You said the last couple of minutes they kind of shit the bed. How did they look in quarters 1 through 3?
It was. The game was within reach the whole time. Even Nebraska went up for 30 seconds. Like they scored a touchdown. Led. They went up 17-14.
Oh,
yeah,
wow. Okay.
They led but then on the very next drive, man, Ohio State was able to take it down the field and score.
Well, the quarterback had an interception at the end of the game. If it wasn't for that.
Yeah, that's where you shit the bed. But then again, there was some iffy calls like with about a minute left in the game.
Wait! You're telling me the refs got involved and
no, there was a few, but the main one was
the refs would never do that.
Ever. Yeah. Right before the half, there was about a minute left, and they got a first down, and they marked it about a foot or two back behind, and they were supposed to look at it because
they never looked at it.
They never looked at it. Yeah, and but Nebraska had the first down. They ended up having to kick a field goal, 56-yard field goal, I think it was.
Oh wow!
And they made it surprisingly with a guy that was his first or his second kick as a kicker in college football.
Wow!
So
he had something to prove.
Yeah, no crap, right? I think his best kick before that was 22 yards.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and he went for I think it was a 56-yard.
I could kick 22 yards.
An absolute miracle happening for Nebraska because if you know anything about Nebraska, their special teams have been freaking horrible.
Okay,
everything's been bad about their kicking game for the last 5 or 6 years.
If Ohio State comes out and gets beat by Penn State, then I'll be with Chief on the fact that Ohio State probably aren't as good as everybody thought they were. But if they come out and do the... Now, granted, they always play Penn State close, but they always seem to pull it out.
Don't start talking about them yet, because we have more to talk about. And that'll be the Ohio State-Penn State game. So we're going to get to that.
Which game?
Mookie Betts is on base.
All right. Are you paying attention to the
Not
World
at
Series?
all.
Not paying attention to the show,
That's
Jinx?
it, yep.
All right, Texas. Texas beat Vandy, y'all. 27-24.
Barely.
Now,
Yeah, once again.
The thing is about this game that I was thinking is this, right? Texas did not beat themselves by barely, or obviously they didn't lose the game, but they played good football. Texas played a good game, but Vandy played a good game as well.
Vandy's better than we thought.
They must be really good.
They beat Alabama.
Yeah.
They held Texas. They lost by 3 to Texas.
Yeah.
Top 5 team.
This is a group of guys that believes in
They
themselves,
beat
man.
Kentucky pretty easily, right? So
Where do they go this weekend?
Auburn.
Jordan Hare.
So,
That's right.
let me ask, this is not a topic of conversation, so I'm going to let you have it, man. What do you think about Vandy going to Jordan Hare, man? Is there a chance that Nebraska, sorry.
Nebraska Wolves.
Boston College. Boston College. All right. Yes! All right. So, is there a chance?
You need to take a timeout. Freeman just hit a home run.
Oh,
Freeman did?
Yes.
So he
Is
has
that-
the record now.
He's got the record.
Wow.
And
The
he just
third
drove in
person-
Mookie Betts, so we're up 2-0 now.
Is that the third person up to bat?
That's
Yes, that's
nine.
correct.
Hold on. And you
like
said
you
that
did.
earlier. You're like,
I did.
She
I
called
did.
that
I
earlier,
called it.
man.
Yes.
oh, man. All right.
awesome.
I'll buy your next beer.
So is that the home run record?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Aaron Judge's? Was
No.
there?
No.
He's got the consecutive World Series games home run record.
Yes.
Six.
Okay.
He's did it in 6 games.
That's pretty impressive, man. All right, so back to college football. Does
Sorry, guys.
Vanderbilt beat Auburn this weekend?
No chance. Darquez Hunter is still running. He ran from Lexington to Auburn after the game, and he's going to continue running all over Vandy. He had
Vandy.
like 275 yards against Kentucky.
I
He's gonna
wish
run all
I could be the WVU
Vanderbilt.
fan that he is.
All
an
over.
Auburn fan.
All over.
Just positivity.
It's going to be amazing.
He does, but
does.
hold on.
He does.
If you're an Auburn fan and you saw the freaking kick 6 and you've seen all the things that this guy's seen in his lifetime with Auburn just pulling stuff off,
he also saw
you would
that-
have the most optimistic look as well.
7-5, man. We're going to be 7-5.
He also had to live through the hell. What was that thing called Alabama through last year?
Oh, yeah.
Sorry,
What was that thing?
The Hail 6, what was it?
hell something. It was
Oh, my gosh. It doesn't even have a name.
4th and 30.
Didn't even have a name.
All right, so if it weren't for 3 turnovers, Texas would be a 2-loss team right now. Vanderbilt had 3 turnovers during that game.
Oh, okay. So I didn't get to watch. I didn't.
Yeah, that's the only reason why Texas won that game is because Vandy had 3 turnovers. Now, give credit to Texas's defense, right? They have a good defense to be able to force 3 turnovers, so you can't say anything about that. But if that did not happen, then Vanderbilt is had won that game. I mean, there's
So Vanderbilt is. They are a good team this year.
I think
they believe in themselves, man. I tell my kids this all the time,
true.
and they
So
don't
true.
listen to me. If you have positive self-talk and you believe in yourself, you can do a lot.
I do believe that. However, when it comes down to the fact it's talent on talent, Texas has 3-fold more talent than Vanderbilt has.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
But I'm just saying. So I think Vanderbilt's probably.
How many 5 stars does Texas have? And Vandy has.
I don't know if
probably
Vandy has
0.
any 5 stars.
They might have some 3 stars on
yeah,
that.
maybe.
team.
Some smart 3-stars.
But Texas
Exactly.
needs to work on their penalties, too. They
think-
were penalized 10 times.
Yeah, they're.
They really do need to.
Auburn has to play their A game because Vandy they're coming off a close game at Texas. They beat Alabama. Vanderbilt thinks they can do anything, and they're going. Auburn doesn't have a great record. We can beat Auburn.
All of that
That's-
is extremely misleading.
That's what they're thinking,
I know.
and that's
It's
what I'm saying.
extremely
If Auburn
misleading.
is not on their A game,
Watch.
Auburn's had some close calls. They
Yeah.
should have won.
You know what? I'm going to watch that game this weekend.
Extremely misleading.
I'm going to watch that game this weekend.
12:45, buddy.
All right, I will be there in front of my
SEC.
TV.
45, that's a weird time.
I will have.
SEC network.
I will
That's
have my
why.
4 screens going, and one of
Whoa.
them will definitely be the Auburn game. How's that sound? Texas A&M beats LSU 38-23. Man, both of these teams are playing to be at the top of the SEC. Texas A&M is there now. Garrett Nussmeier threw 3 interceptions for LSU.
Yeah.
The stat of the day though is LSU's running game. Man,
Yep.
hear this: 24 rushing yards. Ode to the Texas A&M defense on that, but LSU just got destroyed. I think that Brian Kelly was saying you can't win games with 24 yards rushing, and you cannot. win games.
Not in the SEC, you can't.
That means
Yeah.
all of us would be qualified to coach an SEC team if that was the threshold, recognizing that 24 rushing yards will not win a game.
Yeah.
But even with that stat, Texas A&M was getting, they couldn't do anything until the backup quarterback come in.
That's exactly right. If
That's
it
what
wasn't
all
for the
changed.
genius of sitting the Connor, if they had not sat Connor, they would have lost.
Connor Wegman.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it felt like when that backup come in, it was a different team.
Totally.
Well,
different,
and
yeah.
Wegman played so good the week before,
Oh.
or the game before. I can't think they were up.
He played.
It comes down to, I mean, it's the same thing that happened with Texas last week when they pulled Ewers. Yeah, it's the same thing. Like, there's certain times when somebody's head's in the game, certain times that there's not. And with Ewers, there was something going on during that first half. Second half, he came in and played fine. And then, I mean, probably with Wigman, the same thing. It was just
He was 6 for 18.
Yeah.
Is Texas A&M still leading the SEC now?
Yeah.
Texas A&M is the leader in the SEC right now. Yeah,
Like, who'd have thought that? Seriously, when we talked at the beginning of the season, did any of us think Texas A&M?
There's one person that did, and I don't remember who it was, that said that Texas A&M is going to be better than we think they are. I don't remember who that was.
Wasn't me.
But
Wasn't me.
because I didn't think so, because they had a brand new coach. I was like, they're 7-5 or 7-5 at best.
Yeah.
I'm still not sold on.
I'm sold on them, man. I watched a lot of these
You
football
think week
games.
12 you might be?
No.
I mean, LSU is a good team. They're not a great team, although they were at the top of the SEC last week.
Yeah, I mean that game was quarters 1 through 3 was all LSU. Quarter 4, that kid come in or into the third quarter, and it was just a different ball game.
Yeah,
I mean, I get it. You don't have. Is that the same? I don't know. Is that the same backup quarterback that came in the first game of the season when Wegman got hurt?
Yeah.
Okay, so wow. So
Where are they
there was
playing?
game film on him. So
yeah, he won against Florida. Like it was.
Yeah.
I mean, not that Florida's the greatest team on earth.
no, but did he play like that? I mean, he played like the best player in college football for a quarter and a half. He was unbelievable. That backup.
Unbelievable, yeah. I mean, they were saying, "Whoa, look at this guy!"
I'm just like, man,
it's Connor going to get his starting position back. He did.
Where are they playing Texas A&M?
Texas A&M is going to be
It's
in Austin this
In
year.
Austin. Wow.
Yeah,
See,
that's going to be
See, that's huge.
that's almost like a mini playoff.
Yeah.
that could be
Huge
the first.
implications.
Yeah, that's going to be
The big question is, what's the fan base look like? Is Texas going to sell out their stadium to the point that there's only a handful of the A&M section and maybe a handful more, or is it going to be everybody knows everybody? I got 4 seats and I'm going to give 2 to my buddy who's an A&M fan. Is it going to be like 50-50 in that stadium?
It depends on where Texas is at.
Not
If
50-50,
if they only have
Maybe
their
not,
one
but
loss.
even significant.
70-30 probably.
Yeah, but that's significant.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a game where Texas fans and Texas A&M fans are willing to pay $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 a ticket for the game.
Oh, that game-
They haven't played each other in a long time in a rivalry
it's gonna be
situation
a
like that.
Huge game.
It's
It's been
gonna-
what 13 years, 15 years or something like that.
Yeah, people are saving their paychecks and making sure they pay down their credit cards now so they can put those tickets on the credit card.
Yeah, that's one of
guarantee.
those rivalry games that people forget was intense. They hate each other.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh
they
yeah,
hate each other.
that game is going to have huge implications. It
I hope it
hasn't been
does.
played in so long. I'm good.
Yeah,
And
it's going to be great that they.
That is going to be a
Thanksgiving
great
weekend, right? Thanksgiving
game.
weekend.
Yeah.
Great game.
It's going to be
Almost as good as the Iron Bowl,
Well,
but not quite.
If both those teams,
probably bigger than the Iron Bowl this year.
if both
No,
those
honestly,
teams
it's
win
not
out
going to be.
between now, I mean, what do we only have? We have 3 weekends between now and Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah,
If both those win,
4
the next-
weekends between now and Thanksgiving, sir.
Well,
That weekend.
we
The
got
28th is going to be the Iron Bowl. The
28th is
Texas
Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah,
That's the 29th.
yeah. 28th is Thanksgiving Day. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on.
Okay.
From that, and we're going to talk about the questions of the week. And I did not feed y'all the questions of the week ahead of
did
time
not.
because I did not have any questions to ask y'all
Oh, I took a guess.
until recently. You took a guess.
I did. I took
All
a
right,
guess.
hold on. We're going to go with your question first. What's your guess?
Yeah.
My guess was
This is spontaneous, by the way. I did not
Yeah.
plan this, so
it's either
it's either
bowl contenders
nope.
or group of 5 contenders.
All right, what's the group of 5 contender that you have?
Well, Boise State's one of them.
Okay, group of 5 contender.
right now Boise State.
All right,
I can tell you who it's not.
it's not Navy.
Appalachian State.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not Navy now.
And it's not Liberty.
What if Army wins out?
Army?
They beat Notre Dame.
They're on my list too.
They have to beat Notre Dame.
If
That's
they
the
beat
key.
Notre Dame and then they win out, do they pass up Boise State,
Absolutely.
who has one
Well,
loss?
absolutely.
And
Absolutely,
although,
if they're undefeated.
although their one loss is to Oregon, Boise State's one loss will be
The
to
problem
Oregon.
I have with
so-
Army, the problem I have is Army could
That's
win out, win the AAC championship, and then lose the Navy in the Army Navy game. Then when does the selection committee? Is it that weekend?
No, it's before the Army-Navy game.
Yeah, because
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought it was the Sunday at the 15th after that.
Oh, it would be? Okay. You think
Or the Army-Navy game is December
Right.
15th, yeah.
15th.
Around that
I
time.
thought
yeah.
December 16th on Sunday.
They're going to do the selection.
They do the selection.
Oh, they will?
I think so.
Oh, I thought it was
That
I
quick,
thought it
'cause
was
the
week
next-
before.
The next weekend's a playoff game.
That's what I thought it was the week before.
Time out. Mookie Betts caught the ball. The Yankees fan
Grabbed it out of
took
his
it
glove.
out of his glove.
Well, I would have done the same thing, man.
Well, they'll call fan interference. They'll review it.
They will? Okay. Okay.
Grabbing his arm.
Yeah, he's got his whole armies up in the
And let
air.
me tell you something. That's what Yankees fans are known for. I'm not going to go into it, but 1996, same shit happened to the Orioles.
Well, that's what happens. if
December
you're-
8th.
Is it Army-Navy game?
No, is the selection. So the
Oh,
Army-Navy game's a week after.
So I guess the complaint would be if Army loses the Army-Navy game,
Why
if
would
that's
I-
elected, that would kind of be...
That would be interesting.
Actually, think about the coach going, you're not playing, you're not playing, you're not playing because we're going to the
I
playoff.
just can't see that happening with the Army-Navy. Though.
The Army-Navy-
That's
Army
too
would
much
not do it,
pride,
yeah.
man. There's too much
There's
pride.
too much pride. All
They're
right.
going to have to move back. I hate to say they got to move back game.
Here is the question that I was going. The questions that I was going to ask. Okay, that's what we're going to go on to now. Did you have another question that you thought that I would ask?
No, it was just those two. It was just the
Okay.
the bowl and the
Yeah.
group of five.
All right, kind of like this is kind of a question about Group of 5 / bowl. Washington State is 7-1 right now. They have a very good chance that they're going to win out. They're not playing a lot of high contending teams. They beat Texas Tech. They beat Washington. Both of those are Power 4 teams. If they win out and they're 11-1, do they get the respect? They're in the top 25 now. They're number 22. Do they get the respect to be in the top 12 teams?
Who did they lose to?
They lost to I can't remember who they lost to.
Iowa State.
Iowa State. Okay, they lost to Iowa
Washington
State.
State lost to Iowa State?
Is that right? He's just making shit up at this
Are
point.
people in the back feeding you
They
the
did
information?
in basketball.
They lost to Iowa State in basketball. All right, so who did they lose? I guess that kind of depends. I guess that's a matter of who they lost to, right?
The question is, they're still in the Pac-12.
Yeah, but the Pac-12 is not part of the Power 4 anymore, which is the one
That's my point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is they're not in the Big 12, they're in the Pac-12.
And they might even win the Pac-12 championship
They lost
against
to
Oregon
Boise.
State.
well,
They lost to Boise. Okay.
Oh, so there you go. That's your elimination game right there.
Yeah.
So they are not in the top 12, even though they win out because they lost to Boise State.
Boise's also 11-1 or 12-1.
That's right. So that cancels that.
I mean, you're going to go. Everybody barks about head-to-head. There's your head-to-head right there.
Yeah.
All right, easy answered. See,
Easy peasy.
I like it when the questions are easy because
But what happens if Boise State chokes up between now and then?
I know. Then
And oh, by the way, Notre Dame. I hate to say this, but Notre Dame is going to take a spot from somebody.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're not Power 5. They're not Group of 5. They're not Power 4. They're Notre
the
Dame.
highest seed they can
They're
have is
independent.
the highest seed they can have is
Yeah.
a 5th seed.
Doesn't matter. It's a spot.
it's
Yeah.
a spot. They
It's
could
a
get a
spot.
12
Yeah.
seed.
We've been talking about two
If
teams
no-
from the Group of 5 getting in. Notre Dame wins out. That ain't happening.
Yeah.
They're getting a spot. They're Notre Dame. They bring too much money.
They definitely have a spot.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
article in USA Today about the college football chaos, that the author's pick for was, he said Notre Dame.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I hate to say it.
There's a lot of hype around Deion Sanders right now.
Oh, God.
Not
Not boy,
not as
not
much.
boy.
Hold on. Not as much as there was last season in September. But this season, they are bowl eligible now. They're looking pretty good. They are, what would it be, 4 wins away from being in the Pac-12 or the Big 12 championship game.
Yeah.
If they win out, they're looking good. Is anyone going to pick off Deion Sanders and bring them to their school? Will it be Florida? Will it be Florida State? Which will it be? I mean, there's a lot of teams that are.
That was my
looking like
question
shit
at the
right
beginning
now.
of the year. I said, as soon as a coach gets fired and it's a decent school, he's going there.
The only one I can see it, I don't know what Norvell's situation is, but Florida State would be the only one I can see that.
$68 million buyout or something like that.
They're
man.
going to buy him out. I think that's a done deal.
I mean, Deion is,
Wow.
I mean,
1-7?
Yeah, Deion Sanders played at Florida State.
Yeah.
Like, that's where he would want to coach. I
think
guarantee
so.
it.
Yeah.
Would you not want to go back to your alma mater
Absolutely.
and play there
bring
and
all
coach
that,
there? I mean,
get all that
right.
Florida talent. I mean, he'll bring in the Florida talent.
And even though
yeah.
he brings in some things that a lot of boosters may not like, he's Florida State.
And
That's what they want. They want their swagger back.
Yep.
in all honesty, I've said this before he even left. What was it, Jackson State, and went to Colorado? Like I was saying this like 2 years before that when he was coaching there. I'm like, this guy is going to be a phenomenon when he gets into a Power 5 team. And the reason why is because which father is going to say no to Deion Sanders coming to talk to his son? That's a 9th grader. That's playing on the varsity team. That's that's
Colorado was the perfect place for him because it was tucked away. They were a disaster program.
He couldn't make it worse.
Couldn't make it worse. He was able to get his kids. Obviously, Deion's smart. He's a businessman. It was strategic. He went to. I mean, you don't want to go into a place like Florida State or Miami off Jackson State. You want to go to a Colorado or something like that. Build them up. They're bowl eligible. They have a good chance of being in the Big 12 championship game. Shadur's going to graduate. I don't know what Shiloh, or he's going to go to the pros. I don't know if he won't go to the pros. Shiloh, I don't know what he is. I don't know what his junior, senior. So I don't know. He'll take him with him. It don't matter. Hunter's going to be gone. I don't know that Norvell's going to get fired. I don't think it's fair to fire him. But man, if they can bring Dion in just to bring the swag, because Miami's getting their swagger back. Florida's going to try to find a way to do it, but Florida State wants the swagger. That was their MO for years.
Colorado's got a bye week this week. They got Texas Tech at Texas Tech to follow on the 9th of November.
I think that was the only one that I thought they might lose.
They'll win now.
And they'll
beat
most likely
Texas
win it.
Tech.
Yeah.
Then they got Utah at home on the 16th. They'll win that. They've got at Kansas on the 23rd. I think they'll win that. And then they got Oak State at home on the 29th.
So they're going to win out.
I think they can win out.
Yeah.
They have their one Big 12 loss is to Kansas State. So they might get bumped out of the Big 12 championship game.
And they go in there. They're 10-2 at that point. Lost Nebraska, lost to...
And they'll get one of the big bowls. Those bowls still matter. They'll get one of the big New Year's Day type bowl games, which gets big payout.
So any upset hurts them.
I'm sure he gets a bump in that too.
But I'd be hard pressed to pick one of these as even an upset.
I'm telling you, they're going to... I mean, all four of those teams, you'll catch them all at the right time. They're all just...
Yeah. 10-2. Do they make it into the playoff then?
Oh, I think they do.
Do they have that?
If they don't play for the Big 12 championship, they will.
Big 12 championship. I think Big 12 is going to get one team.
Okay.
I think they get two if Kansas State beats BYU in a rematch in the Big 12 championship.
Yeah.
Then they get two.
You
can't have Colorado leap them.
No, Colorado's not going to leap them if...
Right.
I think Colorado's lucky they're not playing BYU then.
No, they're not.
They're not.
Yeah, which that's
But they played Kansas State.
Yeah.
At home and lost to them.
Yeah, okay. Indiana's coach, Kurt Cignetti, man, 63 years old.
He ain't going nowhere.
Is there ageism in this? And by asking this question, but he's not. Exactly. I was thinking this. He's not going anywhere because if somebody picks him off, are they going to try? Are they going to try to pick him off? How long is he going to stay there for? 72 years old, so 9 years at best.
Right, he's another
but
situation like
if it's me, I'm like 63.
Well,
let me just reel in this money, man. Stay till I'm 70.
He loves
maybe
it. He
whatever,
loves it
and get the hell out of
He
there.
loves
Get a
it
great
there.
contract after this year.
Yep.
His fans are ecstatic. They're 8-0.
Yeah.
Indiana's got money too, by the way.
That contract will put him out to where he'd be perfect.
Yeah, give me 7 more
7 years. He's 70 years. He looked good for his age, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm shocked when he found he was 62 years old.
Exactly what I thought. I looked at him, I'm like,
40s.
there's no way he's 63 years old.
But you know what?
I had to double check. I looked on Wikipedia,
Yeah.
and then I verified that. I am not doing... I was fact-checking myself on that one, for sure.
But he's at Indiana. He might be a guy who's like 2, 3, 4 more years tops, and
Unless
go play with the grandbabies.
Unless WVU can make him a sweet offer and bring him home. Bring him home.
Bring him home, baby.
That ain't going to happen, though.
All right, so... Have you ever played... We've talked about this before, right? We've all heard of this show... Who wants to be the fifth grader? What's it called?
Are
you
Smarter than a fifth grader? Or are you smarter than a
The
celebrity?
only ones that want to be a fifth grader or fourth graders.
All right, who's smarter than a fifth grader?
Right.
Yes.
Do you want to be smarter than a celebrity, or do you want to be smarter than
I just want to
Landon
be
the
Legend.
Legend? All right, so let's hear Landon the Legend's picks for the week, and then we will talk about our picks for the week coming up in Week 10 college football.
SMU, Miami, South Carolina, Penn State, Georgia, Clemson, Michigan.
Hey, y'all, that was your legendary picks. And Landon Legend, he had a pretty bad week last week, I heard. He only got 1 right. Is what you're saying?
No, we
Chase?
got 4 right.
He got 4 right?
Close.
That's not bad. 4 out of 7, man.
Well, the rest of us got 6 or 7.
So we're catching up with him.
We are, yeah. So he gave us a chance.
Yeah,
Now,
smart.
are you smarter than a 5-year-old? I hope you are, but you can play along with that as well by following the games we're about to go over. So check this out. All right, Pitt versus SMU. ACC leader Pitt has been winning but not blowing anyone out that bad, except for Syracuse last weekend. While SMU is fairly solid offensively, but they kind of lack the defensive talent that they need to kind of hold people down. I don't see this as a very glamorous game, in all honesty. SMU is a 7.5-point favorite right now, according to the statistics. Pitt showed they can play. They're able to force some interceptions. They're able to force some turnovers. This could be a close game, man. I think it might be closer than that. But I do say that Pitt wins this game.
Not so fast.
Yeah.
We're playing at SMU where SMU is looking to show everybody that they made the right choice going to the ACC. SMU is going to win this game.
Okay,
it's at home, too.
Woo! All right.
That's what I based mine on, too.
Cheeks, who you got?
I said SMU because
Why?
they're at home.
They're at home.
I think they're going to dominate.
We saw we see with Landon the Legend what the home team strategy goes with, though, and he's been using the home team the last couple of weeks.
Has he?
Yeah, so don't follow his strategies because you think he's smarter than you. All right.
SMU's been playing good
we
ball.
go with the Gus Malzahn prodigy, Rhett Lashley. over this. Over,
Oh, is he part of that?
Oh
trade?
yeah, he
Okay.
played quarterback for Gus Malzahn.
Oh,
Okay.
And was our offensive coordinator at Auburn.
okay.
Gotcha. So you got SMU?
Yeah.
All right. And I'm sure you have SMU as well then.
Well, I don't see Gerald R. Ford Stadium as being an intimidating place to play. And after watching, and I didn't get
Yeah.
to watch.
There might be 4 fans there.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, but I watched them play Duke the last 3 series. That was the most wild crap I've ever seen in my life. And they should have lost to Duke.
They can score, but
Well, Duke once again, Duke gift wrapped it for them. You know what I'm saying?
Duke couldn't kick a field goal for the life of them.
And then went for 2 because they didn't trust Duke. Anyway, Duke should have won that game.
Yep.
I think Pitt. I hate Pitt, and they're going to do it because their main goal is to piss me off. I'm convinced of that. I think Pitt's going to beat SMU.
That is their main goal.
I think Pitt is better than Duke, and Duke almost beat SMU.
Yeah, that's my
I'm sorry, what was your pick?
Pitt. I hate
You're going with Pitt.
Yeah, I mean, you just said what I said. The fact that the SMU struggled with Duke, should have lost that game. SMU's looked kind of flat in a lot of games this year. And Pitt just has a golden horseshoe up their ass. I mean, they were down by 10 with 4 to go against West Virginia, won that game. Syracuse, I mean, statistically, Syracuse won that game, but the score said otherwise. There's something going on with Pitt. Pitt's going to win. Ugh.
That was such a West Virginia thing. They have a golden horseshoe.
Especially when they
up
have
their
golden
ass.
horseshoe in their ass. Yeah, for real.
That's what they got.
Speaking of Duke, Duke is playing at Miami. They're going down south. And Mario Cristobal is the coach of the year, I think, right now. I mean, this guy is...
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Over Signetti.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I mean, it depends upon how the rest of the season goes.
Okay.
But Mario Cristobal has been building and building and building a team. He has a pretty good team. The thing is that they need to wake up on defense. They are allowing people to score against them, but they're able to score with Cam Ward at the helm. Duke, on the other hand, I just don't know, man. They seemed like they were a little bit lethargic when there was under pressure under SMU.
They're not going to be lethargic.
Yeah.
Manny Diaz has a bone to pick.
But
Oh, that's true. I forgot about that.
Yep.
yeah, but I mean, let's say so they can't kick a field goal, and if you can't kick a field goal, you cannot win a game, and that's why Miami wins this game. Even if Duke has their best game of the season, Miami wins this game just because they're able to outgun them.
Yeah.
Does everybody agree with me? Do we need to move on to the next game? Or
I picked Miami too.
You got Miami also. Why do you got Miami?
Well, because I don't care that Duke has a bone to pick.
Yeah, they don't have
I
they don't have a bone big enough to
No,
pick.
I think
anything
Miami's
in
got the talent. So,
Yeah.
what about you guys?
Keep it in
I think Miami wins, but in Miami fashion, I bet you the game is within a touchdown in the 4th quarter.
Really?
Just because it's Miami.
That's how it's been all
That's
season.
how I mean, they
Yeah.
played around Florida. I know they blew Florida State out, but they kind of played with their food a little bit for a while. I mean, they just seemed to, Miami's going to win. Yeah.
Duke had SMU at home. They went to overtime. They won by 1. They beat FSU by a touchdown.
They're not
They
glamorous
lost
wins.
to Georgia Tech by 10. They beat North Carolina by 1. And they, of course, Middle Tennessee State, I'm not even going to count that one. I mean, they won, but my point is Duke's not a powerhouse team. Miami is a powerhouse team.
Yeah, they're the team that beat in the ACC. And
Miami
it's
beat
not gonna
Louisville by a touch. I'm just they beat Florida State. But they beat Louisville by a touchdown.
Beat Cal by a field goal.
Beat Cal by a point.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, nothing glamorous about this game.
Right.
But play on
But again,
Duke's side.
Miami plays with their food.
And
I bet
it's-
Duke's within a touchdown.
Yeah.
I just want to be sure.
And Miami's at home. I think it's clear it's Miami.
Chopper!
As Keith Jackson would say, Miami.
All right, so Texas A&M is coming to Columbia, South Carolina to play our South Carolina Gamecocks. We got people that are sending money there. 2 of y'all are sending money to that school. So you're hoping that Texas A&M, or that South Carolina's going to use that money well to pay the right people to beat Texas A&M, I would imagine, right?
Well, no, not really. I'm hoping it's going for the
Coach-
education part.
Coach Beamer is going to play some Beamer ball that week. We got a little bit of Beamer ball, we hope. I should buy tickets to this game. Everyone's offering me, man. I really should. It's going to be a good game. Texas A&M is running on all cylinders right now, but in all honesty, South Carolina is one of those teams that can just stick a stick in those spokes, man, and just knock you right off of that.
They are the definition of dangerous.
And they always have one team that they ruin their season. Texas A&M is number 10.
Yep.
Get this. Connor Wegman, 782 yards, 3 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Lenora Sellers for the Gamecocks, 968 yards, 5 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Quarterbacks are pretty...
They have
even.
not named Connor the starting quarterback yet, though.
That's
Right.
my concern.
There's a very good chance he's not going to.
It's entirely possible. You're right. Gamecocks got Rocket Sanders. The boys in the desert are saying that this game is closer than it looks.
What's the spread on it?
Did we say 2.5 points earlier?
3.5.
3.5 points. Yeah.
So
I just want to let you guys know I picked USC to lose because that will mean that they win.
That's why you're choosing USC.
Yes, because every time I pick USC, they lose. Every time I pick the opposing team, USC wins.
That's why I wish Rebel was here, because he would. The way he can talk up South Carolina, like he did against LSU, like he did against Kentucky. If he was here, I'd probably pick South Carolina.
this is a night game in Williams-Brice.
Bryce, that's
okay.
and we're all
And the
tailgating.
Gamecocks are hot, and Texas A&M is hot. But
I don't know if the Gamecocks are hot.
Oh, they're
they
hot.
are. They're good.
They will be Saturday night. Trust
They
me.
were hot last time.
They've only had one game. They look
They've
like.
been itching to play a night game, and now you got number 10 coming in. The Gamecocks will be up and ready for this game.
And
Gamecocks win this game.
They've only had
And
one
while
game.
Texas A&M is louder,
Yep.
it's gonna they're
Oh, yeah.
they're gonna think they're in their home stadium, except that the cheers are not for them.
Yeah.
Gamecocks for the upset.
Yep.
There's only
And you know I don't pick the Gamecocks very often.
And you got 7 wins last week, too.
there's only
And 2 weeks before.
I got 7 wins last week along with you.
there's only one game
Yeah.
that South Carolina looked bad in. I mean, I don't count Old Dominion. The first game was
that's
was Ole Miss. Every single game they played, they have looked. Kentucky, they blew us away, right? Like, wow. LSU, it was theirs. The ref screwed us. Let's be honest, the ref screwed. That's a win for them. They should have won the game.
Yep.
Oklahoma, they just
Beat
slapped
them.
Oklahoma.
Yep.
I mean, they have just
The defense is
In
strong.
Oklahoma,
yes, they are a team that, I mean, when you get their best, you better be ready.
They will be ready Saturday night.
I mean, they are one of those teams. It's just like I would not want to have to play them right now.
So who do you got in that game? Who you got? Say it. Say it.
Say it loud.
I really,
Say it loud and proud.
I really want South Carolina to win the game.
Go Cox, say it.
I want them to win, but I'm picking Texas A&M.
Oh, you're a traitor.
You're going to lose now because I picked A&M.
Well, here's the problem. If
You're a traitor to our cause.
If the backup quarterback plays for A&M, I think South Carolina will have a hard time with him.
yeah, I agree.
Because the front four for South Carolina, unbelievable. You get back in the linebacker situation, that secondary when he's zigzagging and run through, it's a little different story.
Yeah.
I hope they play Connor Wakeman because I think they can shut him down. That's what I hope. But I'm picking Texas A&M.
So I'm assuming that Chopper over here has South Carolina then, right?
Oh yeah, Cox. Gamecocks.
He's all about the cock.
Texas A&M is not going to come into Columbia in a nighttime game in this situation and pull out a win. Not going to happen.
If Beamer fakes a punt on the first drive, like he did with Ole Miss,
I don't think
Then
that
they
will
lose.
ever
they
happen
lose.
again.
That was dumb.
Yeah.
Not going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Sandstorm's going to be going crazy.
Sandstorm is going to be going.
Cocky's going to be going crazy.
I want
Crowd's
to
gonna be going
get
crazy.
this pick wrong. I want to get that pick
I
wrong.
mean, they've been
I wanna get
itching
the
to
pit
have.
hit wrong.
They've been itching to have a night
You are,
game in
because I
there.
picked A&M.
That stadium will be shaking.
All right, so when they start playing that Superman song, bah, 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 and then freaking Cocky comes jumping up,
Space Odyssey?
and that
Space-
Yeah,
Space
I'm trying to figure out
Sandstorm,
what Superman song that
Space
was.
Odyssey.
Thank
Space Odyssey.
you.
Oh, is it Space Odyssey?
Yeah.
Sorry,
That's Ric Flair.
what the hell, whatever. All right, when Space Odyssey
These
starts
guys at the bar
playing,
talking sports.
when Space Odyssey, I'm not a freaking movie buff, okay?
No, it's not about music. It's about
In fact, that was Ric
2001.
Flair's entrance, and you watched wrestling as a
It's
kid. That was Ric Flair.
2001.
I watched WWF, not
Odyssey.
Right.
WCW, okay? WWF was where that's where Hulk Hogan was. That was where Andre the Giant
he was
was.
there. He was
That's
there.
where the Ultimate Warrior
He was there, too.
That's where all the good wrestlers were. Ric Flair was the only one over there at WCW keeping that place afloat.
Well, he went-
which is great. The guy
Okay.
is a legend. But
Well, anyway, that was his entrance, and he used it at WWF too. So
I didn't watch it.
Oh my god, guys!
That being
talking
said,
wrestling.
2001 Space Odyssey, Cocky comes jumping out of that cockaboose thing that he jumps out of, and then boom, that freaking sandstorm starts flying. I hope the Gamecocks can
It's
do
going
it.
to be
Man.
amazing.
I'm going to go Gamecocks!
Boom!
Mark my words. The Gamecocks win.
I did
In an
about
upset.
5 minutes ago. I knew you did.
Damn it, I should probably go to that game, shouldn't I?
You thought
Well, you're going to the.
There's so much going on the next 6 weeks,
You're
man.
tailgating.
8 weeks,
You
sorry.
might as well get
If you're
tickets.
going down
I'm
there-
not tailgating. I'm not even going. I can't. I don't have...
I have tickets for him.
Yeah,
What?
Yeah.
exactly. Everyone's trying to give me tickets.
You okay?
Oh, you got tickets.
Yeah.
Yep.
We should talk after this.
Yeah.
Hold on, you're trying to take my tickets?
Yeah.
I got too much going on, man. I have to go to all
He's probably
Wanna read the
got
text?
It's Christmas next week.
he's probably got to get a facial and his nails done.
I gotta get my pedicure,
He
okay?
said he had so much going on.
I
in
know. He told
November.
us, all the way up to Christmas. We heard.
Past Christmas. January.
Whatever.
All right, Florida
Hard being
versus
you.
Georgia.
It's hard being me.
We had to talk about this game, okay? This is
What?
on neutral ground. Florida versus Georgia.
Okay, we
World's
skipped.
largest cocktail party.
We didn't skip any games.
Ohio State.
Florida.
Penn State.
That's the main event.
That's the last. That's the main event of the
That's
of
the
the week.
headgear pick.
Yeah, that's the one that keeps the people still listening because they can know our picks because they're concerned that much about our picks. I'm sure, right? Like everyone's listening. They're like, all right, so what are the guys like Mark on Sports
What
going to
time's
see about this game?
kickoff?
Florida, Georgia, 3:30. Billy Napier and Kirby Smart going head-to-head again. Billy Napier's never won this game against Kirby Smart, by the way. DJ Lagway is now the full-time quarterback at Florida. This guy is really freaking good. He could throw the ball accurately like 70 yards.
Really?
Oh, ridiculous arm.
He does have no. Okay, I know he can run.
He could run the ball too. He's looking good. But I think that Georgia is not. If you look at the numbers, if you look at the statistics, Georgia is not in the top 50 for total offense. And they're number, what was it, 20 or number 48 for total defense right now.
I think you're right. They're going to lose.
This is a team. Georgia's a team that is beatable. They are beatable.
What's Florida?
No, they're
what's
not.
Florida's offensive
Not by
ranking
Florida.
defensively?
They're beatable, maybe not by Florida because they've lost a game already. They lost to Alabama.
Alabama, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Alabama woke a sleeping giant though.
Beat Kentucky, beat Auburn, beat Mississippi State, beat Texas.
Carson Peck is not that good of a quarterback.
No, he's not, but
he could get frazzled in this game.
They're a good team, and no, he's not going to get frazzled.
DJ Lagway has 2 starts with 1,000 yards passing.
Really?
In 2 starts.
Against
480 yards, and he has the record for the first start of a college football
who
player.
did they play?
They played the last 2 games were Tennessee and Kentucky.
Yeah, so he started against
beat Tennessee,
Kentucky.
didn't they? Yeah,
He started against Kentucky.
yeah.
He almost beat
Went to
Tennessee.
overtime.
Yeah, this is a team that can beat Georgia.
That game was in Florida or in Tennessee? I can't
That
remember.
was in Tennessee.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Florida's a team that can beat Georgia. If you look at the statistics,
Wow.
I don't think it's going to happen, but I'm going to go with Florida anyway. Put me down for Florida, baby,
Go
because I
Gators.
never go against my Gators.
I know.
Chomp, chomp, motherfucker. All right, who you got?
Not the Gators.
Chopper. Chopper, who do you have?
Not the Gators.
Why not?
Go Dogs.
All right.
I don't.
Yeah.
Just because
Odds are
they
stacked
got-
against you.
Yeah, they really are.
I just see this
Stats,
bulldog
yeah.
with a gator in its mouth and bulldog
Yeah.
shaking its head.
Yeah.
Bulldogs win this one.
All I see is a gator taking a fucking bulldog down with one gulp. Yum. And he's like this as he freaking
He
walks
can't
away.
do that. Gators, their arms are too short to get to the front of
Well,
the mouth.
he has extended arms, so he can do
There's
it.
no French kiss by
All
a gator.
right. This is a really long-armed gator. All right. Did I convince you that the Gators going to win this game there, Mountain Mama?
No, but you did. You did. See, I'll be honest with you. I have kind of Florida because you kind of quit talking about it. Florida's been off my radar. But you're crazy, man. I don't care how good Lagway is. The rest of Florida's not that good. Georgia's going to win. Maybe it's closer. But I think
Watch the game.
Well, I mean, I don't know. What time's the game? 3:30.
3:30. You'll be tailgating with his tickets down.
I might be
at-
We'll have it on.
Yeah, I might send you a screenshot of that.
We'll have it on.
We will. We will.
Damn it,
have
I'm
on.
going to go down there and tailgate on Saturday, man. I can't miss
You
that all.
have
It's
to.
fun.
No.
Is everyone that we know going to be there?
Yes.
No.
Guys at the Bar Talking Sports is going to be at the Carolina-Texas A&M game.
That's right.
Come on down and join us. Look for the banner.
That's right.
All right.
Oh, we should put that up.
We should totally put the banner up.
Yes.
Every
right.
time you go down to any
Where's
game.
my banner? I think my wife took it down on me. All right, anyway. Let's move on to the next game, shall we?
When in doubt,
She
blame
needed
the
a
Lord.
rag to clean something up.
Did everyone say Florida except for Chopper?
Everyone.
You got Florida, right?
Georgia.
No, you're the
Everyone
only
said
one who said
Georgia.
Florida. We all said Georgia.
That's my chance to go up, though. Up against the other.
Nice try.
That's my
Ray.
chance to not be
Or
second to
you might
last.
be in last.
Nice try.
Yes, Clemson versus Louisville. Coach Dabo Swinney is kicking some butt since they lost to Georgia, I can tell you what.
Yep.
I think that Cade Klubnik has figured things out, playing well. I think if they played Georgia again, it would be a very close game. Just the way that Clemson's playing. And they're playing Louisville.
Louisville's
Mid-tier
decent.
at best.
Yeah, but Louisville's decent. Louisville's looking for a win. It's at Clemson. It's a night game. Since all we do is win-loss, I got Clemson. Spread's 10.5.
I got Clemson too. Put me down for Clemson there, Cheeks. Only because
Gotcha.
I just think Louisville does not have
If-
the chops, man.
If Clemson wins and South Carolina wins, it is good for the state of South Carolina.
Yeah, it doesn't bring in
Brings
more
in
money.
votes.
Yeah. Brings in, it actually does bring in. It brings in money.
all right.
Makes that last
voters.
game. Makes that last
Brings in
game.
the early voters.
Yeah,
That's it.
it
All
makes
right.
that last game more valuable.
Chopper, Clemson or Louisville, man?
Yeah, no brainer.
You going against Clemson on that?
No, it's a no brainer.
That is a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Who do you got?
Oh, Clemson.
Clemson, okay. And Cheeks.
Yeah, it's a clean sweep.
Speak now or forever hold your peace.
It's funny because I mistakenly put Louisville there, but in my notes I put Clemson. Like, what?
Whatever you say out loud is what you can put on the paper.
Yep. I said Clemson has this, and then I made the mistake there, but I fixed it.
So,
Corrected.
one team that's looking for some sort of relevancy this season, and that is the national champions from last year, and that's Michigan. Coach Dan Lanning has a lot to say about that, though. And Oregon is going to be well coached. They have a great team. They have a great quarterback, Dylan Gabriel. Michigan has not found their place yet. They haven't even figured out who the quarterback's going to be. I think they've played 5 quarterbacks this season so far.
They had one retire today.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
It's ridiculous.
That made me sad.
Yeah, but I appreciate these guys if they're getting hurt, beat up so bad that they're making the smart choice instead of waiting until the
Yeah. I mean, good that he
Actually,
did that.
he's the second one to retire this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's-
North Carolina State.
Yeah.
You should. I mean, if it's your time, it's your time for sure. Oregon at Michigan. They're playing in the Big House. What kind of statement would it be if Michigan beats the number 1 team in the country this weekend? That would be insane.
It'd be huge.
Does anyone think that's going to happen, though? I will start with you, Mountain Man.
I don't think it would happen, but I just feel like Oregon. I mean, when you watch, do we think Oregon's an undefeated team? I mean, I just feel like they. I don't know. You know me. I was Oregon from day one. I've been Oregon day one on this podcast. I think Oregon's going to win. Okay, but the Big Ten wants Oregon to win. They can't have Michigan screwing this up. They need Oregon to finish undefeated.
I think that their win against Ohio State.
Was a coin flip.
Well, it was a coin flip, but Ohio State has shown that they're not as good as we thought.
But they're better than Michigan.
They're better than Michigan for sure.
Yeah.
I just think the Big Ten is down. I think they're top heavy.
But they were playing in Oregon whenever they played Ohio State.
Yes.
Going to the Big House.
It's gonna
what
be
is there,
different.
107,000 seats in that
Something
stadium?
like that.
Yeah,
it's
but
going to
Huge.
be.
That's why they call it the Big House.
Yeah, it's going to be sick. A sick environment.
None of those 110,000 play quarterback, and that's the problem. Michigan doesn't have to.
Best line of the night.
That is, man.
Best line of the night.
All
right
right.
there.
So I'm assuming you got Oregon. You got Oregon winning this game.
Man.
I think even Paul Feinbaum would agree with you.
You are a mountain genius.
Yeah, that's Oregon.
I might separate that statement right off the show and put it into like a TikTok clip, man.
As good as Nick
That's-
Saban
Copyright
can
that.
Nick Saban can fire his fans from last year.
Yeah, Nick Saban could fire the fans before they'd fire him. That's what
Oh, wait, that was your line.
Yeah.
last
That
year.
was the line of the year last
Yeah.
year. But you just won the line of the year this year, man,
Yeah.
for sure. None of those 110,000 fans can play quarterback.
That's
All
what
right.
they need.
Chief. Who do you got in this game, man? Oregon or Michigan with the upset?
I got Oregon for the win. It is at the Big House. Spread's 14.5. I think the game is much closer. I'm thinking between 3 and 7 points is what the final score is going to be.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Cheeks, who do you got? Oregon, Michigan?
I picked Oregon, too. I think Oregon's on fire, and I don't think there's any stopping them.
Yeah. Who do you got, Chopper?
I'm going to go against the grain and go with the Wolverines.
Whew. That's a risky proposition, brother.
Yeah, going with them.
It's a home game.
Home game. They got. Everybody's talking bad about them. This is their chance, right?
They have a lot to prove.
Yeah.
But they do not prove it this week. It's going to be Oregon.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
I'll let you go. I'll let you be the sole Michigan fan this
Yeah.
weekend.
True.
All right, so the moment we've all been waiting for, because this is a pretty huge game. Ohio State number 3 versus number 2 Penn State. Ryan Day has got to figure things out this weekend, but I don't think he needs to figure it out that much because it's not like Penn State's been blowing people out.
Right.
They've had some near misses this season also. So I'm looking at 2 teams that have had some near misses that might be ranked a little higher than they should be, based upon the strength of schedule, things like that. Power ratings is what they call that, right? Mm-hmm. This game, though, is a coin flip. Who wins? Put me down for Penn State because it is at Penn State.
Yeah.
They're playing in Happy Valley,
Yeah.
and those fans are going to be happy at the end of the game.
They're not happy right now. They're not happy at all right now.
It comes down to if the quarterback's
Well, not
healthy,
that. It's
too.
the fact that it's a noon start.
It is a noon start.
How
yeah.
they got screwed in that deal. That should have been a 7:30 whiteout.
It's the Fox Big Noon kickoff.
Yeah, but so that's what I thought too. I looked it up today. They had a Fox Big Noon kickoff this year that did not play at noon.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Wow, they did.
Remember they were at Oregon, Ohio State in that game.
How could you have a game like that at noon then? Because that is just
I don't know.
enormous.
To me,
That's like the perfect 4:30 game. Or night game.
7:30 game.
Yeah,
I mean, a whiteout, 106,000 wouldn't. That makes a difference. No, they're going to be they're going to be loud no matter what. It's Penn State.
Yeah. So you got Ohio State or Penn State?
Give
it to me, man. Tell me, who do you got?
Here's the problem. I don't know who the quarterback's going to be.
Do you need a coin?
Well,
that's it. If Drew Aller isn't the quarterback for Penn State,
right?
But when he went
it's
out,
a true freshman that's recent.
But when he went out, I didn't get to watch this game either.
Yeah.
But when he went out, one thing losing to Wisconsin, and the backup came in and they blew Wisconsin out. Is that what happened? Did I read that wrong?
I didn't get to watch that game.
So I don't know anything about this backup quarterback.
Yeah.
But I do like their chances with Drew Aller better because he is the guy.
If you're the starter for sure.
I think Ohio State's going to win. I think they just own Penn State. There's something going on there. They just own them. James Franklin the way Day was with Harbaugh, I feel like Franklin is that way with Day.
Think about Penn State's, before you all make your final decisions, think about Penn State's defense, right? This is a group of guys, I mean, they're in the top 10 defenses in the country. Great defense historically, great defense this year. Ohio State has an offensive line that is looking like shit.
Swiss cheese, yeah.
Yeah, Swiss cheese. Ohio State can't run the ball.
I'm still going with Ohio State. By the way, Will Howard.
Penn State has pretty good corners to protect that ball on the outside as well. So that's why I'm going with Penn State.
Will Howard is a little pissed off at Penn State himself. He grew up a Penn State fan, grew up in Pennsylvania. They didn't even give him one look. So he's got a chip on his shoulder. I want Penn State to win, but Ohio State's going. My pick is Ohio State's going.
All right. Chopper. You jumping on the bandwagon?
Penn State.
That's the bandwagon I was hoping you'd jump on.
Boom.
Boom. All right.
Yeah.
Home game.
White
Penn
out.
State.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not white out. It's
not a white out.
Why not?
I know. You
It's
think that the fans are just
totally
beside us a little
Isn't
bit.
it like a noon game or something?
It's totally going to be a whiteout. You know it is.
It's not.
You know
All
it
right.
is.
But you go ahead and wear white, okay?
We do have this
I
guy,
am.
John, that listens to the show, and I should tell him to start. He's a big Penn State fan. We should get him to start, turning into a whiteout game. But I guess it's too early to do that. All right, Chief, who you got, man?
I've been really on the fence on this game. I want Penn State to win, and I'm going to pick Penn State.
Oh yeah. Did I have any convincing
No,
on that?
not at all. I came in tonight.
I think Tony Franklin finally gets it done this year.
I think
It's
Penn
about
State
time.
has been.
Boom.
If
Yeah.
anything, this is the game Penn State was preparing for, and when they opened up can of whoop ass on Wisconsin, it was just practicing what they were going to do this
So,
weekend.
what kind of playoff implications does this have if Ohio State doesn't play in the Big Ten championship?
Ohio State has no playoff contention at that point because their only games that they win are going to be against subpar teams.
That's going to be huge.
Unless they.
You're telling me they're going to leave a 10-2 Ohio State team out of the playoffs?
Absolutely.
No way, man.
Yes.
No way.
Because you'll have an undefeated Oregon
and an
undefeated Penn State.
They got to play each other.
Possibly.
They have to
play each other in the Big Ten
Okay, so
championship.
that's two teams. Who's the third team from the Big Ten?
Yeah.
Don't say Indiana.
Well, think about
man.
this: if Oregon's already beat Ohio State, if Penn State beats them this weekend, and those two have the only loss is one of the two of them in the championship, there's no way that Ohio State gets it.
With no ranked wins?
They're going to beat Indiana. They'll beat Indiana.
If they beat Indiana.
If they
Coin
beat,
flip game with you lose 1 point to Oregon. Let's say you lose 1 point to Penn State. You smoke Indiana.
if you smoke Indiana,
I don't know how you leave them out. They're Ohio State. Even if they're like the 10th seed, I don't know how you leave them out.
it's the same way they leave West Virginia out.
Oh, West Virginia's way different than Ohio State. Way different. Shit.
Yeah, I mean,
Way
so you have Oregon, Penn
being
State.
sarcastic.
I know you were.
You have Oregon, Penn State, Indiana, all undefeated. If Penn State's still undefeated, Oregon, and at the end of this week,
So y'all think Ohio State would get left out with 2 losses? Wow.
it depends. Hold on, it depends, right? Because you're looking at SEC, which has no undefeated teams right now. But then again, it's the hardest place to play. These guys just pick
They're getting 4.
themselves off.
They're going to get 4.
They're going to get.
They're gonna get
They're going to
4.
get 4.
No.
If the Big Ten gets 2,
They'll get 2, maybe 3.
and then you also have the guaranteed from the Big 12, the guaranteed from the
Power 5.
from the
ACC.
ACC, and then you have one from the Power 5. You have 2 spots left.
Notre Dame.
And then who's the next one? You're going to get another Big 12 or another ACC.
I think ACC gets 2.
You think ACC get? Oh, there you go. So now you have Ohio
Clemson,
State.
Miami. I'll be shocked if you leave a 1-loss Miami.
And now you have Ohio State out then.
And Indiana's playing Michigan State this weekend.
Yeah.
Indiana's going to win that game.
Yeah, let's say Miami goes to the ACC championship undefeated, and they lose to a 1-loss Clemson, right?
Yeah.
And then Clemson beats them. Both of those
And
teams.
Clemson's only loss is to a top 5
Yeah, so
team.
both of those teams are in.
Does
for sure.
Todd Day get fired if they go 10-2 and don't make the playoffs?
Ryan Day?
Oh, I'm sorry, Ryan Day. I said Todd.
Why would he get fired of that?
That's a big deal.
Those fans
It
want
is
to
a
fire
big deal.
They want
I
to
mean-
fire him after losing to Michigan last year.
It's not so much they get 10-2, but if
But
they
we're
don't
watching
even,
Penn State go through.
if you don't
all
even make
this.
a 12
It's a
12-team playoff.
They're going to be calling for Ryan Day's head no matter what.
Yeah.
Just
They
because
shouldn't. They
Shouldn't.
They shouldn't.
What do we say around the table? Ryan Day can't win the big games, right?
That's what they say.
Well, Franklin can't either.
And Franklin can't either. So
Right.
Yeah.
this is. But hold on, Ryan Day has always beat Franklin though.
Yeah.
So I mean that's a big game. Every year for the last 3 years, Penn State's gone in there undefeated and lost.
It hasn't been really close.
And it hasn't. Yeah, but
Right.
but Penn State's lost those games. So Ohio. I don't know. I mean they're going to be calling for Ryan Day's head.
And I said at the beginning
They're
of the
already
season that I
calling
was
for it.
shocked that Penn State's coach has made it through these constant. I get close, but I don't get close enough.
Yeah. They lost to Michigan 3 years in a row and had 1 loss. They were a 1-loss Ohio State team.
They wanted him gone.
And they want him gone with 1 loss. because he's not playing for the Big Ten championship.
And the only loss in those three that was the one home game, but they got smoked in.
Yeah.
But the other two, that was a coin flip games. I mean,
I did invite Ripper the Predictor today because I was telling him that we're gonna rip the hell out of Ohio State, and I think we just did.
I didn't. For the record, I'm the lone person trying to defend them.
I wanted him to come defend them.
Yeah.
I think that it's indefensible though the way that Ohio State's playing right now. So I don't think that he could come. I'm talking to you, Ripper. I don't think he could come.
Well, in his defense and their defense, I'm still going to stand up for Ohio State. I think they're a good ball team. I do. They're going to beat Penn State. They're going to have one loss. They're going to win the Big Ten championship. I'm saying it right now.
You know what my favorite question in the world is?
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
Yeah.
That's my favorite question in the entire history of the world. Does anyone have a proper what the fuck for me tonight?
I have two choices, but
Hook me up, girl. Tell me.
me?
Tell me.
Nobody
What's
else
the
has
what
it?
the fuck?
Okay, so I've got two what the fuzz, and both of them have something to do with Major League Baseball. One is the price of tickets.
What the fuck?
What
Price
are
of
they?
tickets?
What are they, Chiefs?
So what is the most expensive ticket you guys have heard about at Yankee Stadium? Dodger Stadium's a bigger stadium, so their prices are a little bit lower. Okay? But at Yankee Stadium, they have a smaller stadium.
It's
less
New York
seats.
City.
Right, exactly. So what do you think the highest price ticket is?
Very popular team as well.
I'm going to say 10,000.
Okay.
Highest price ticket?
Now you're talking face value,
Yes, face value.
not secondary.
Not secondary.
10. Okay, 5,000.
Keep going.
Higher? 10 higher than
7,500.
27,000 if you want a club seat.
Wow, that's crazy.
Is that for a season or one game?
Or no.
Yeah, playoffs, they don't do that. It's all
One game.
One game.
But you gotta
One
think,
game.
New York City has so much money. Every high-rise building that has a executive in there
Yeah.
buys club seats for their clientele who comes to New York from all over the world. They're bringing people from Russia, China, all over Europe, whatever, to wine and dine them. Hey, you want to go see a Yankees game? Those things sell for $27,000, no problem.
But I'd be willing to bet the cheap seats is probably over $1,000.
Oh, yeah.
Right now.
Because
Well
all the guys
sold.
that are not at the top of those buildings, but at the bottom of those buildings, are still wine and dining the same fucking people from all over the world.
The cheap seats were over 1,000 until they lost 3 in a row. Then they went down to 585.
Half off.
Who doesn't want to come to New York City and watch a Yankees game?
Me?
You know, I could give a shit less too. Excuse me.
That's my what the
That
fuck.
tonight's game was 585.
Tonight's game was 585.
Now they win tonight, but that number goes back.
Well, and they're getting close. So, yeah, the Yankees are making a run of it.
I was going to say my what the fuck was the whole first down thing with Nebraska, but my new what the fuck is how amazing that throw was for, was it the Washington Commanders?
Yes, my boys. Yep.
Yeah, tell me more about it, man.
So
That
here's
was
what
a
I'll tell
what the
you.
fuck moment.
This is against Chicago.
This is against
Yeah.
Chicago. This is the kind of fan I am because I've been a Redskins/Commander fan since 1982.
Insane.
So I have lost a lot of faith in them. And when the Bears scored with 25 seconds to go, I got up off my chair. I walked outside with my wife and enjoyed a fire. I got a text about 25 seconds later from my buddy that said, "Did that just happen?" I said, "What?" He said, "Bro, y'all won." I got up, went inside in time to see Jim Nantz commentating the replay.
Okay.
So I missed the live, but I saw it. I was super happy. I love Jaden Daniels. I need to apologize to everyone out there on Instagram because I was not a Jaden Daniels guy when they drafted him. I felt like he was going to be a bust. There's something special about that kid. Granted, he threw it up for grabs. And
it rolled off of the other.
Chicago. That Stevenson
was a little help.
Stevenson was too busy celebrating, and then he's the guy that runs over there for the Bears and tips it backwards to Noah Brown. So
Amazing luck.
Yeah, again, Daniels threw a Hail Mary, but him being on that team has been something special, and I'm very, very happy.
You know what my what the fuck is now? You had a fire going, and you were texting like, yo, Ray, why don't you hop on that boat and come over and sit by our fire, dude?
Yeah, I would.
I feel as bad as you do when I drive by you on my boat.
You know, I would, but when you just drive right by me and don't look at me on my dock on your boat, it kind of makes it hard for me to invite you over for a fire.
Oh, you bastard.
He didn't even look at you.
Oh, no.
I do not make eye contact as I drive by.
Yeah.
So
He's like this.
You're watching the road.
Not
man.
me.
I'm watching the lake.
Making
sure I don't crash into any other.
I've had
onto
5
the
different
lake.
people offer me and my lovely wife rides on the boat, including Chief over here. But there's been one that has just put it right on past.
Ray has a boat.
He does.
Everyone's let on my boat.
I've been on it.
Everyone's let on my boat. Does anyone else have a what the fuck? Chief.
Yeah.
Hit me up, man. What the fuck, dude?
So first of all,
Sick of hearing this guy talk
I'm a
crap
North
about
Carolina
my boat.
alumni. I didn't even want to watch the game on Saturday, but I was watching other games, and I just happened to pull up Sports Center on my phone and saw that North Carolina was winning. So I just saw, and they were up 31 to 7, 31 to 14, And I thought, well, hell, it's fourth quarter. Might as well watch a victory because I haven't seen one since September, middle of September. So
Poor Tar Heels.
I tuned in just in time to see Virginia quarterback Calandrio. He throws an interception, but the guy who grabs it is a defensive lineman for North Carolina. This guy's got to be 325 pounds, and he's lumbering down the field. And you would think anybody could catch him. The problem is he's so freaking big, they can't, like...
I saw that highlight. I saw it.
Anyway,
They couldn't get him down?
85-yard touchdown return.
With 3 guys holding on to him? As
Practically.
They couldn't bring him down.
They couldn't bring him down.
I gotta watch that stat. But for the meantime, we're gonna wrap up the show.
I have one more. What the fuck?
You got what the
Hey,
I have
this
another
is
one.
important.
The Yankees are winning 5-2.
what the fuck?
Yes. What the
So
fuck?
you think we're gonna go into a 5th game? Huh?
Oh, I know we are.
All right.
It's
I'm
still
going to say
at
it
the
here.
bottom
It's
of the
going
third.
7.
It's
Yeah,
going
it's only
7?
the third. I know.
This series is going 7. Hate to say it. I'm
No,
sorry.
it's
It's going
not.
7.
All right.
At the worst,
Too
it's
much
going
money on
6.
this game.
You heard it here first, folks, on Guys in the Bar Talking
Sports!
See ya!